because I've seen a few people posting about this with being an issue with Brinkley's is that the spare tire can get loose. Take you along with me so you can... Oh, hi kids. Welcome to the show. As you can see, I'm editing the show while you're watching the show. The young kids call that meta. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Feel free to look around, dust off some of the old videos, look at them. For those of you that have been watching us for a while, I owe you an apology. We haven't had a video in like 2 weeks. But if you've also been watching the show for a while, you know that this is the time of year where we kind of stay stationary in San Diego, get a bunch of work done, and so we're just kind of super busy. So this week, since we are stationary, I decided I would do a quick how-to video on some of the maintenance and some of the inspection that I do on the Brinkley Z3100. All of the products that we're going to talk about, I'm going to link them down in the show notes so they're easy for you to get to. And then lastly, if you are enjoying what we're doing, feel free, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, hit the like, and leave us a comment down below. All right, now, let's get to this how-to. Sealed, I'm going to be applying some conditioner. Over the next couple days, I have some inspection and some maintenance to do on the Brinkley Z3100. So I thought, why not just take you along with me so you can see the kind of things that we do to ensure that everything is in tip-top shape in the Brinkley. Today, I'm going to be doing some maintenance on the seals, the slide seals. I'm going to be applying some conditioner to them. And then we also have to, Tony printed up our logo to put onto the back of the rig. We're going to do that as well. So that's it for today. And then tomorrow we're going to do a ton more. I'll be back to explain that in a minute. So the product that we use for conditioning the slide seals is from 3-in-1. It's called, it's 3-in-1 rubber seal conditioner. You can get this at most RV supply stores. You can also get it on Amazon, or we just got it at Walmart. It's real simple. You're just going to spray it on. Got a microfiber towel, and I'm just going to wipe it off. The one behind me is the easy one to get to because I've got steps right next to it. So I'll do that one first. Now for the slide seal on the back, I don't have those steps, so I've just got a ladder. I'm also got another little trick that I'm going to use in a minute to get the top, but let's do this one from the ladder. For the top of the slide seal, couple ways you can do this. One, obviously just get up on the roof and then spray it and wipe it down. That's not gonna work for me because I'm a big guy, too big for the rating on the ladder to get up on top of the roof. So I'm rigging up something that I can do it from this ladder. Hold on, I'll be right back. This is my tip, my trick, if you're too chubby like me, to get on top of the roof. This is a pole that we got with a wash kit that I use to wash the RV. Video on that coming. And it extends and contracts to make it as long or as short as I need. And on the other end, I just put some microfiber towels, some gaff tape. It's something we use in the production industry. It's kind of like duct tape, except it doesn't leave any residue, and it's a lot more expensive than duct tape, so just use duct tape. So I just balled up one microfiber rag, put it on the end of this, put another microfiber rag over it, and just taped the whole thing up. So I'm gonna go on the ladder, and then I can either spray the conditioner on the seal, or I'll just soak this with it and then use this to scrub it down. I got my slide sealer, or not sealer, but conditioner. I've got my fancy dancy, or fancy schmancy rub and down stick. And yeah, I'm gonna turn you around so you can see me doing this. So the key here is to really get this good and soaked. So yeah, I'm gonna spray it down twice. This little idea, what do you know? It's actually working out pretty good. Hey, Tony Tao joined us. She's the top person. She can get on the roof because she's not chubby like me. Oh, you are framed in the sun. Hold on, Tony Tao's roof inspection just said she thought she saw something that looks like rust. So when we first got our Brinkley, we had a problem with the front air conditioner. We had a mobile tech come out. He had to do some drilling to reseal something, and it looks like he just left the metal shavings all over the roof, and they've rusted. I did check with Brinkley. They said, don't worry about this. It's not going to harm the roof. If you're a mobile tech and you drill stuff in, clean up after yourself, please. So one thing you want to be careful of when you're working on these slide seals is that you don't want to push too hard because you could roll the slide seal in and then it's not actually giving you a seal. If you push too hard, you can wind up with something like this. And if that happens, you're going to have to reach in there, kind of pull everything out. This is especially true on the top of the rig. You could wind up with water coming kind of backflowing into your rig. So now we're going to go to the other side, do the bedroom slide seals. At this point, I'm sure you've seen enough just slide conditioner being wiped onto seals. All right, kids, well, it's time for day 2 of Fun with Inspections and Maintenance. It is an absolutely beautiful day here in San Diego. It's like 75 degrees outside, the sun is shining, it's just lovely. So today I'm going to do what I normally do. If we're stationary, I try and do this about once a month. If we are moving, I try and do it at least every 2 weeks. And what is that? It's to go and look at all of the plumbing appliances, the sinks, look underneath them, make sure that there's no water leaks there. And then I'm also going to go into the pass-through and look at all of the plumbing down there and make sure that there's no water leaks there. So, yeah, let's do that. Step 1 is under the sink down there. So, the first thing that we have to do, of course, is clean out everything under the sink so we can see the water connections. This is your cold and your hot water line. So we're just going to look up in here, make sure there's nothing leaking. I'm also going to run a little bit of water to make sure that nothing on this plumbing is leaking. I don't see any leaks. So I think there, we're good. That's the kitchen sink. Now, off to the bathroom. Okay, so in the bathroom, we're gonna have a couple of things that we have to check. We've got a water line that goes to the sink. We've got the plumbing that comes out of that sink, but we also have a check valve that I am betting is for the black tank flush. So we're gonna have to check all of those pieces. All right, here we go. So all the supply lines seem to be dry and tight. So let's run a little bit of water and check the drainage connections. All right, so the inside is done. Here's this beautiful San Diego day I was telling you about. Now I'm going to climb into the pass-through and I'm going to start checking the plumbing in there. There's one section that's behind the sliding doors that I'm going to check, but I'm also going to take the partition off that will give me access to the backside of the Nautilus system because I want to check back there and make sure nothing's leaking there. All right. Now, time for the fun of chubby guy climbing into a pass-through. Here we go. So I think before I climb in, I am gonna pull these, here, can you see it? No, I don't think you can see it that well. I'm gonna pull these sliding doors. I'm not just gonna open them, I'm gonna lift them and pull them all the way out. so that I have more room to get back into this compartment. There is some plumbing back in this compartment. There's also a converter in here. If you ever have to change a converter, we did a video on it. So I will link that video up here so that you can watch it if you have to change out a converter. All right, I'm coming in. All right, so I'm gonna kind of show you what it is throughout this pass-through that we're gonna have to check. I'm gonna start at the front, and I'm going to move back. So we have a hot and cold supply line that is running to the washer dryer in the front cap. That hot and cold supply line comes back and runs back to AT. Those lines going down, I'm betting probably run up to the kitchen. Okay, here's something odd. I'm laying here and all of a sudden I feel water on my back. And I thought, oh my God, is there something leaking behind me? No, I put my soda in the pass-through and I just kicked it over. See, soda, now I'm wet. Just on the front side of this opening to get back into the crawl space is your water lines that are coming into the bathroom. Here's the pass-through. If you look up, those are the water lines that feed, those are the supply lines that feed the bathroom sink. This supply line, I'm pretty sure this flex tubing is what's going up to that check valve. And then that flex tubing is going to come back to the black tank. Well, one feed's gonna go back in behind the Nautilus where the black tank flush comes in, and the other line is gonna go back to the black tank to the flush nozzles in the black tank. I'm also gonna check this bathroom drain line. And again, I'm just kind of running my hand on it just to see if I feel any water anywhere, which I don't. So that's good. Now, I'm gonna pull this panel so I can get back into the area behind the Nautilus and check for any leaks there. To do that, I have my power drill with a trusty Robertson's bit on the front of it. I'm gonna pull that out. I've got a bunch of PEX lines back here coming in from the backside of the Nautilus. So let's start there first. I don't feel any water around these. Kind of feel all of these. This here's the shower drain. Don't feel any leaks there. Going back up into these. Don't feel any leaks there. This here is the water pump. I'm going to pay close attention to these because these are flex tubing, and if anything's going to leak, I'm betting it's going to be a flex tube. That's all good. Got a couple more back in here that we couldn't reach before. Those feel all good. That's going into the back of, this is your hot water heater. So these are lines going to and from it. That all looks good. It's just so tight trying to get through here. I'm kind of putting eyes on where that black tank flush pops in. And I'm also now getting the soda that I spilled on my belly. All right. I don't know, can I get this in here to where you can see? Yeah, now can I get my arm in to point to it? No, I can't. Maybe I can come this way. All right, here's the black tank flush and where it connects down here. And I don't feel anything wet down there. I'm gonna try and get a light back in here so I can look down into this crawl space down here. That all looks good there. I don't see anything leaking. All right, I'm happy. That is basically everything in the pass-through that I can get to and check and make sure there's no plumbing leaks. So I'm happy with that. I am going to button up this wall and reload everything into the pass-through, and then the last thing we're gonna do is go down underneath the trailer. So something that I want to check, because I've seen a few people posting about this with being an issue with Brinkley's, is that the spare tire can get loose. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to check this spare tire. Yeah, that's moving around a little bit. So before I finish anything up, before I finish everything up, I'm going to go get the crank and try and tighten that down a little bit more, because it is kind of swaying back and forth. In your pass-through is this. That's the crank that we are going to use to kind of tighten that that spare tire up. Under your slide out is this little piece of like aluminum that you put the crank onto and then turn it so that you can crank the tire up or down. All right, that should do it for the spare tire. Next thing I'm gonna do is I wanna look at all of the electrical lines coming into the brakes and just make sure everything's connected there, nothing's come loose. So now I gotta scoot that way. Brinkley, they've kind of sealed everything. This is cool. Well, not sealed it, but they've wrapped it so that it can't get hung up on anything. A lot of trailer manufacturers, like even in our Imagine, they were just wires hanging down. Brinkley has put, like, the word escapes me right now, but they've put like a wrapping around it. I know there's an actual word for this, but I have a 50-something brain and can't remember what it is. One thing I do need to do is get a grease gun, because we do have wet bolts on the equalizers. Here's your leaf spring. Here's the hanger, and there's a Zerk fitting right there. We come over here. That is your equalizer, and you'll notice that there's wet bolts that we just need a grease gun to drop on those Zerk fittings and put some grease in it. Let's go to the other side. There's a connector inside of this that kind of squeezes together. This is getting a little ratty with this electrical tape dropping down. Probably get some new electrical tape, pull this off and kind of tape it up a little bit better. So this stuff looks all good. I'm gonna go towards the front of the trailer. There is a propane line that comes down. I just kind of want to look at that. It's the one that goes to our quick connect. I'm also looking at, we've got speakers, Bluetooth speakers underneath. So I'm looking at those to make sure they're not hanging down or anything. I may go wiggle those. Now I'm up towards the front of the rig, and again, we're gonna kind of just check these brake lines. That tape's kind of hanging down. I think I'm gonna get some electrical tape and just kind of re-tape those. But everything's still connected, it's all good. So the Z3100 has Bluetooth speakers in the bottom of the rig. So I want to look at these, just kind of wiggle them around, make sure nothing's coming loose. All right, that feels solid. Let's go to the other side. So again, we're going to look at brake cables over here, and everything looks good there. Sheathing, that's the word I was looking for earlier. They have a sheathing around the wires. All right, moving a little farther up on the underbelly, there is another speaker, so let's check that one and make sure it's not loose. And then I'm just kind of following the gas line that drops down to the quick connect. I just want to make sure it's still all connected up, screwed in, nothing's fallen down. Over to the other side, here's your low point drains and your tank discharge. So I'm just kind of looking at those, making sure everything's solid, nothing's coming loose. All right, that all looks good. So I think that's it. I think we're done with our inspection for this month. All right, Tony Tal, what are we about to do? Tell me.
We are about to put our YouTube channel logo on our trailer.
And how did we get the YouTube channel logo?
I have a cricket.
Tony Tal's a cricket queen.
I'm a crafty woman.
What's the saying? Measure twice, cut once.
I'm on a ladder.
Uh-huh.
I don't have anybody spotting me because you're holding a camera. And so I'm a little nervous. I don't want to fall off the ladder. So I'm
Stand by. We're gonna
very careful.
stand by. We're gonna switch to a GoPro so that I can hold the ladder for Tony Tao. Stand by. And just like that, we're on a GoPro. Let me go hold the ladder. Safety first, kids. We're doing another wipe down of alcohol because apparently the rag that I gave Tony had something on the rag. So hopefully the letters and stuff we already put up there and the logo we put up there will actually stick.
I mean, it's no big deal. If it comes off, I'll just make another one.
Plus the fact that she put the other one up wrong and now it says Our VR Sunsets.
What?
Just kidding. She didn't. That was the look of not amused. Our. All right, last thing. Corporate branding for Google. Yay! Thumbs up.